Should you summon for Wriothesley / Furina? The answer for Wriothesley is no. The answer for Furina is yeah, because she's Furina. Now, I'm going to talk about Wriothesley first. Just looking at their banners really quickly, Wriothesley is a character who has not been back for 14 months. If you like this character, get him. I don't know when he'll come back, but I can guarantee that he's not going to be a character that comes back often. And I just would not recommend this. Like, if you want this character and you don't care that he's not meta or anything, that he's going to be, you know, power crept, even though he's already been power crept. Like, this character was never, like, truly, like, one of the top tier DPSs in the game ever. Like, he just wasn't, right? I love the guy. I'll make a whole do I regret summoning on Wriothesley video tomorrow. But in terms of, like, do you want this guy? Get him. Do you want this guy for him being strong? Do not get him, because I guarantee, I mean, I can't guarantee, but I predict that Skirk will be cryo, and the good chance that she's a DPS, because we already have Lolly. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I don't think Wriothesley is going to be the strongest cryo DPS for a long while, for a long while, I guess. Yeah, sure, whatever wording. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. So Wriothesley, obviously, you know, I can't recommend, if you're summoning for him for his strength, don't, like, if you need a cryo DPS, just wait. I'm keep saying I'm guaranteeing. I have a pretty good feeling that Skirk is going to be a cryo character, and she's going to be a DPS. And literally, even if she's mid by Natlan stand, well, I guess I shouldn't say that, because I think Wriothesley's better than Chaska. All she has to do is be better than, like, Chaska level. And at that point, we're looking at, like, oh, well, yeah, Skirk is, like, best character. And I mean, it is important to note that when there are lore relevant characters, they tend to make them, like, the strongest characters in the game. Nevi, for example, was the strongest DPS for all throughout Fontaine, and then Furina and all the Archons are typically all the strongest characters in the game. So I would assume Skirk is going to get that sort of same treatment, just due to how important she is to the lore. It would be really funny if she didn't, and we've all been saying this for a while about Skirk. So basically, Wriothesley, not really the character you want to be looking at in terms of power. But if you like the character, I can't tell you not to summon on this guy, because you don't know. We don't know when his rerun is going to be at this point. So yeah, if you like him, go ahead and summon. I don't really, you know. Get his C1 before his weapon, by the way. Just so we're all clear on that, because Widzith is actually a really good weapon on him from using it. It actually, you know, I had a weird run where he kind of did, like, only 10,000 less damage on his charge attack comparatively to using his weapon, and I think it might have been higher. I don't necessarily know what I did, but I was using the Widzith on Wriothesley, and, like, it was incredibly high and very impressive of how good it was. So I'm not that, like, oh, get his weapon or something. I think his C1 is better, and that's also going to go with Furina. So I've seen someone already say that they're going to get Furina's weapon. Do not. Her weapon is probably the least synergetic weapon that came out of 4.0. If I'm being entirely honest. This character wants ER, right? She has a free-to-play weapon that's, you know, like this pipe thingy. If you like using that, you can also use Favonius. Literally just use one of those. Get her C1, because her C1 is just going to be better. You know, may not be for her personal damage, but her weapon needing you to put so much like more ER onto her, it's just not worth it. And then at that point, you can get C2. Like, I would recommend to C6 this character before you even get her weapon. That's how unsynergetic it is for her passive, right? Because, and the reason why I say get C6 before, because, like, some people will be like, oh, well, her C4 solves the energy problem. Well, you're only 2 constellations away from C6, and that's definitely going to be a stronger upgrade than her weapon, right? Because then you can actually use this character as a DPS entirely, right? Then you can go ahead and get her weapon. So I just wanted to, you know, just that. And then Furina, she's got at least, like, the 3rd best support in the game, maybe. The 3rd, I don't think she's 1st anymore. I do think she's probably 2nd. Could I argue anybody above her while we're sitting here? I don't think I could. I do think that she's still number 2. Like, because I don't think I can argue Mavwika above her when it's only Natlan characters, really, that she's, like, super strong with. And then Wriothesley, right? I think Furina probably, in terms of my personal tier list, slots in at 2 as a support. And then, you know, we have, like, Mavwika and Lolly and, like, Kazu and Bennett. Bennett is possible, depending on how much you care about attack scaling. Because Bennett is basically in every single attack scaler's team. So you maybe Bennett as your 2nd best support. But I would say Sheelan personally is my pick for best support in the game. But I mean, I'm arguing if this character is number 2. So just understand that when I do that, The answer is yes, you should summon for this character. This is an insane character to get if you don't have this character. We could also talk about the 4-stars a little bit. Mika's really good if you are a person who likes using Eula. I think that's all we need to say for Mika. He's good for his attack. He used to be good with Wriothesley freeze teams, but Wriothesley's melt teams have just gotten so far and beyond better than his freeze teams at this point. It's not even like this character isn't really that good. He gives attack speed and a full team heal, so it's good, but not a lot of people want him to use his skill set because like not a lot of characters like need attack speed that badly to where they're like gonna kick off Shielding on the team, right? And then Chongyun, he's just awful. There's no reason to run Chongyun at this point. He's a 1.05 star or 4-star that offered basically only cryo conversion as his main source of damage. You can do whatever, but this character is not like I'm gonna go collect this character so I can, use him on a whole bunch of teams. That's not something that you can do. However, Charlotte is actually a decent character, I would say. I've seen people already trying to use Charlotte with Mavuika. No, I'm not talking about the Afonso guy, but just Charlotte with Mavuika is an okay combination. I wouldn't recommend it, but if you're really that down bad to use Charlotte to me is just a decent team-wide healer, and she can hold, the book, the Thrilling Tales of Dragon Slayer. She get 48% attack, and then she can hold like Noblesse. That's 68% attack plus her, full wide team healing. It's not a bad, like, I need this character to, like I need someone to put in this slot. She would be a decent character for that, I would say. Like, she does genuinely, like, she's a good character for that sort of role. And also, I forgot to mention, Furina works great with, like, the best DPS in the game. She works great with Mavuika. And, Mavuika overall, I think just, those two characters, sure, Mavuika Melt is way stronger than her Vape teams. But, I mean, Furina still works great with her, and Mavuika is still one of the strongest DPSs in the game at the bare minimum on Vape. So even Furina can go ahead and buff Mavuika, right? So if you don't care for Sweet Lolly, you can go ahead and try Furina. Furina works on a lot of like second best in slot teams, right? She's not a lot of the times on like the best in slot teams for a lot of characters anymore, but she's a very good like, oh, I don't have X character. Oh, Furina right there. That's basically what Furina has been sort of downgraded to, which is not bad at all because it's basically, Furina for like 90% of the game, right? So yeah, overall, I mean, I think I've kind of gone over everything. Oh yeah, the weapon banner. Do not summon on this. Both of these characters, I do not recommend you get their weapons. Cash flow is a decent sort of all-arounder, I'm pretty sure, and I've not read Furina's weapon in a while, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't recommend you guys get these weapons. I just don't. I feel like, I mean, we got Skirt coming up eventually. Like, she's got to be coming up soon, right? It's normally like, it might be 5.7 or 5.6 because I think Arlecchino dropped in 4.6, right? So since we've delayed the Archon by one update, it's very plausible that we could see like, the Fatui Harbinger of this series of updates be delayed by one update also. Okay, and I've just read through Furina's weapon. It's just a stat stick. I think Chloride may work with it, but it's elemental skill damage that it increases. So, yeah, overall, there's definitely some better options than Furina's weapon. But, Wriothesley does have a decent sort of weapon. Wriothesley's weapon is just purely based off of doing normal attacks and stuff, and then it just increases your, normal and charge attack damage, which, I mean, for Catalyst characters, you have, Wriothesley, Wanderer, and then other Catalyst characters are generally supports. Mulaney, I think, does actually work on this. I could be wrong, but I would have to pull that up. Mulaney should work on this. It would, when current HP increases or decreases. Okay, I didn't read that part. I think Mulaney could work on this depending on the kind of build that you're going to Mulaney. You would have to, get hit for it to activate, but I think it's an okay weapon. I still don't think I could recommend any of these weapons. Like, you're just looking for a good 5-star weapon on your characters. There's definitely some other options, right? I definitely think there are some other options that you could just go ahead and get that way. So overall, yeah, I would definitely say that this weapon banner is just a complete skip, especially because the 5 stars and then also the 4 stars. I mean, man, they really are baiting you with the 4 stars. I mean, these are all great 4 stars, I have to just say. Like, this Sacrificial Fragments, you got, this, Favonius Swords, great on Furina, Lithic Spear. Like, yeah, the 4 stars on that banner are pretty insane, I'll be honest. But, other than that, I don't really think there's much else for me to talk about. These banners are pretty easy, you know. Skip Wriothesley, because I mean, I just don't think the guy's worth summoning for anymore, right? I don't think he was worth summoning for when he initially came out, just due to him being next to Nevi. And now that we didn't really know Nevi's full extent of his power, but yeah. If you do decide to summon for Wriothesley, I hope you have as much fun with him as I have, because I do love the character. And also same with Furina, but Furina is kind of easy to have fun with because you just slap her on a team EQ and then you're done. So yeah, overall, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you did enjoy. If you really enjoyed, feel free to become a member. $5 a month. You get access to videos 8 to 12 hours early. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Goodbye.